Alice, anything else you wanted to add for people?
I just wanted to make the comment that Americans were appalled when they learned that the scientists had figured out how to make cigarettes even more addictive by adding chemicals to them, yet we have sat by and allowed them to add chemicals to our food that set up the very same addiction cycle in the brain. Why do people continue to buy this crud?
And by the way, that's not your opinion. We've got Dr. Blaylock, top neuroscientist, brain surgeon tomorrow. He's written peer-reviewed papers 20 years ago, 15 years ago that are now mainline science and have been adopted. And now they know that all these things are addictive. These companies, they knew aspartame was addictive. Most poisons are actually addictive. I appreciate your call. It's so incredible once you learn the truth. It's so unbelievable that the system wants to make you sick. We're going to be breaking that down in the next hour. I want to go back to calls here, but don't forget, we have the answers that break this down. In fact, this video, made in Europe, it's English. It's in English, but it's not available in the U.S. That's why we saw it and ordered it from Europe. We're the main distributor here in the U.S. Scientists under attack, genetic engineering in the magnetic field of money. A film about courage, secrecy, and danger. An amazing film. It's won all these top awards. The Kansas International Film Festival, Indy Film Festival, Accolade Film Festival, RPA Film Festival, Columbus Film Festival, Maverick Movie Awards, and a bunch of others. The point is that you want to get Scientist Under Attack, available at Infowars.com, along with A Noble Lie Exposing Oklahoma City, along with all the other books and videos and T-shirts. And by the way, we still have the deal going where you can get Infowars.com and then the Fed bumper stickers at cost. Bunch of different packages. You get a whole bunch of them. Please, in a revolution, don't stick them on government buildings. Only stick them on your own property, your own car. We are going to go ahead and get some stencils for Infowars.com manufactured, but not... I mean, imagine the wake-up call if people spray-painted Infowars.com all over Austin, Texas. In legal and lawful places, on the side of your business, on your car, on your T-shirt. Imagine, just in Austin, what would happen if my... it's got to be 100,000 listeners out of 1 million people. I mean, I walk down the street and more than half the folks, that drive by end up stopping and talking to me now. It's gotten crazy. Imagine if everybody put Infowars.com on everything, but only in legal and lawful areas, The globalists are putting poison in our food and water. This isn't a time to actually get aggressive or anything. I mean, come on. All right, we're going to, seriously, don't do anything. Do observe private property. Now, government buildings, well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with your call. Stay with us. All right, we got a special guest and a big expose on one of the big globalist hoaxes coming up, that it's the law, you've got to be vaccinated. They're now sending the police after folks. We'll talk to this Pennsylvania mother coming up. But right now, let's continue with your calls. Let's talk to Tim in Nevada, then Gus, Jay, Michael. We'll get to everybody today. Tim, you're on the air.
Hello, Alex?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hi. I live in Reno, Nevada. I deal poker. It's amazing how many people I deal with that are just complete fluoride heads, have no idea what's going on. Well,
no, they are chemical warfare victims. I mean, we're not joking about that. People say, how did we go from being land of the free, home of the brave to being so domesticated? Because they jacked the food and water.
Well, I go to work yesterday. They owe me a few bucks, and I work for a black man who's my boss. And, Tim, why don't you sit in the game and, help us get this game going? So I sit down and play poker. And they love CNN. They love it there at my job. So they're watching, and my boss looks up at the TV, and it goes, 40% of the people in prison are black. And he says this out loud, and that's just one of my pet peeves about that. And I just go off. I just say, they fly the drugs to the country, the CIA does. And that is to get poor people addicted to the drugs so they can lock them up in privately owned prisons so they can get through, I don't know, I heard it was $300 a day for each prisoner in prison. And have you do slave labor for 25 cents an hour that they'd have to pay somebody $15 on the outside to do. And he looked at me like I was an alien, like, you never heard this before.
Oh, I know. But people love to get obsessed over, like, petty race stuff, how somebody looks at them or a name. when meanwhile the system, it's been proven if you're black and caught with drugs, generally you serve 10 times more sentence than if you're white. And Ron Paul brings that up. But again, black leaders won't talk about that. Or because, again, the people peddling all this race stuff and acting like they're liberal, they're distracting, quote, minorities with the real issues. The real discrimination is mega banks robbing us all, with most of our tax money going now to banker bailouts. I mean, isn't that discriminatory? Or no-bid contracts, going to these mega corporations and not going to small businesses. Isn't that discrimination? But it's like people can't notice the real discrimination going on. It's all got to be about race. Do you see what I'm saying?
Exactly. And I wear my 9/11 shirt. I like to play poker maybe once a week around town. And I wear my 9/11 shirt around town. And nobody ever wants to engage you intellectually on a debate. They just want to mock you and make fun of you. And that's why, you guys are so great at waking people up. I personally have given up on those kind of people. I can't talk to them.
Well, look, about half the population is in a zombie mode, and you're not going to get to them. But you will run into people out there that, I'd imagine if you're wearing a 9/11 inside job shirt, I'd imagine on the street and at supermarkets and stuff, you run into people that agree with you, haven't you?
Oh, I have, and I've also, at work, there's a few people that I've actually, helped waking up, and they come to me, and they're excited, say, hey, Tim, did you hear about this, or you hear about that? And that's great, and I love that. But it's the people who, have their heads buried in their cell phone playing Angry Birds, and all they want to do is mock you because you're trying to tell them that. But
you have to understand, they're in a trance, because I've run into those people, and when they're men, they're always very unmale, very, very soft, and they smile at you with a twinkle like it's cute that they don't care. And it's cute that they're into being slaves. And it's cute that they're hubris-filled and arrogant. And now there's this move to be slovenly and wear pajamas to the store and just have no respect for yourself. And look, it's a society on the verge of collapse. It always happens. Decadence, slimy behavior, crime. It's always an indicator of a society about to collapse. And we're here just trying to get dug in and ready for it, because in the collapse, you think people are waking up now. When it gets a lot worse, people are going to be listening to us more than ever. So we've got to get out as much info as we can today. We'll be right back with our special guest. All right, for the next 35 minutes or so, we are joined by a mother, a professional woman in Pennsylvania, who has been to the pediatrician many times, but took her daughter, 2.5 years old, to the pediatrician, and the pediatrician for an hour pressured her to give her all these vaccines. And there's new ones all the time that they're coming out with and trying to mandate. Mandate means we push it on you, not that it's the law. But now, for the first time ever, we can pull articles up on this later, California did pass the law last year that they give your child vaccines without your consent. Now, they claim the child can give consent now. Well, if children could do that, there wouldn't be statutory rape. They're saying they'll give 11-year-old shots in California. And this is the new model. Oh, you're 11? You want an abortion? Sure, mommy doesn't need to know. You want a shot? Now, if you want to go to the zoo on a field trip, you got to get this letter signed. But if you want us to do a medical procedure, well, then don't tell mommy. This is the state trying to destroy parents' control. Now, I want to go to a few video clips before we go to Rachel Garmon, our guest, who joins us via video Skype. For radio listeners, you can go watch the video if you'd like, archived at prisonplanet.tv. But we're going to go to her here in a few minutes. But I thought I would just show you a newscast from about 6 months ago. This is about 2 months before they finally signed the law, saying we will shoot your kid up with whatever the vaccine company lobbies government to try to force on you without you knowing. And we also have the news reports where now the Centers for Disease Control and Department of Health, federally, Health and Human Services, is going door to door all over the country, but first mailing letters saying, tell us about your child's vaccines. Then you report on yourself, which is a violation of your Fifth Amendment, and then they show up. But Rachel's case is important because she had been gone out of town this weekend. She was there last Friday, And twice the state police came to her house and left a note on the door. We have that note, but we're busy right now blacking out the state troopers' names and things. She wants to be nice to them. And we have the doctor's name. We have the doctor's voicemail back to her, because when she called him and said, "Why are the police coming to my house?" The doctor called back and said, "I don't know what you're talking about, honey." You know, every time they do something like this, they always want to act like they haven't done anything to you. So they're now running a hoax coast to coast. And here's what I'm exposing. That it's the law you got to take vaccines. We're going to show you some of these news clips in a moment. But every year here in Austin, and when I'm traveling in August in other cities, I see the exact same newscast. It's the law. You'll go to jail if you aren't vaccinated. And I had the Maryland state attorney on like 5-6 years ago. This was on CNN, showed darking police dogs and checkpoints and the families, thousands of children brought to the park by the courthouse to be forcibly inoculated and people crying, "I don't want it." The parents believed it was the law. And I got the state attorney on and I said, "It's the law that you're saying it's a regulation and a mandate. So you'll kick them out of school if they haven't had it. But you really can't order them to take the vaccine because that's not the law. You're just misapplying truancy laws and kicking them out and then triggering criminal penalties fraudulently." And he said, "Boy, you ought to be a lawyer. You're absolutely right. My kids don't take it." And started laughing. Like it's cute to manipulate the public. Like it's cute to falsely threaten to charge people. They do take children for not being vaccinated, even though there's no law. They do arrest parents who don't vaccinate. The parents don't know. They can't kick your child out for something that isn't the law when they know there's a regulation, there's a waiver to it. And then they kick your child out and then sick the police on you. It's official imprisonment, false arrest. It's forcing medical procedures on people through fraud. It's racketeering. It's a serious crime. And the media runs this hoax every year that it's the law that you must take vaccines and that you will be jailed if you don't. The Austin American-Statesman runs articles, local radio, TV, where I live. And you know in your area you see it. And they have the mass injections at city coliseums, at Zilker Park here in Austin. And the parents are on the news going, "I don't like these shots and don't trust them, but I don't want to go to jail." And the media just plays along with it. Well, now in Alabama and other areas, remember the H1N1 we had newscast? They were accidentally shooting up the whole class without parental consent. This is incredible. So here's California going to your door with a bureaucrat and saying, "I'm coming in to give them a shot." No judge, no jury, no warrant, no law. Just, "I'm coming in to give them the shot. I'm coming in." Let's go ahead and go to this clip so you understand the magnitude of this. The police are coming to your door, folks. Here it is.
Up in the news, drastic measures to make sure every student is vaccinated in Natomas. School officials went door to door with a nurse offering the Tdap vaccine to meet a new state mandate.
Hello, how are you, ma'am?
Hi.
My name's Heyman Matlock with Natomas Unified School District.
It's not easy going door to door, making sure students are vaccinated.
Your daughter is on independent study.
Yes.
Kayla, has she been verified with her Tdap?
No.
Okay. We were coming today to give her a Tdap if she hasn't had it done yet.
Get the off my house.
Hey, Miss Matlock, dealing with a lot of sticky situations.
You've got a mass hoax in front of everyone where they're acting like they're the good guys coming, saying we're going to give you shots outside of law. Now, we're going to our guest here in a moment, but I want to preface all this for new listeners to understand the magnitude of this fraud. They'll tell you in public school, because they're getting federal kickbacks, it's the law, you got to take it, until you say, "I know you got a waiver right there," and it's not even a waiver to a law. It's just a waiver for your regulations. Give it to me. But the courts have ruled you don't have to fill that out.